everybody, welcome to the garden. As we approach the end of May, every plant in the garden is racing against each other. The Clemetis is flowering beautifully. However, unlike the other years, the flowers are much lighter colored. On the side bed, a couple of my grasses have started to grow. This is Panicum virgatum. It's got a beautiful foxtail flower towards the end of summer. And in this bed, there's plenty of Alchemilla mollis growing really fast and filling up the bed. It looks very beautiful. I love it at this stage. The camellia, which was in the pot, has been transferred into the ground. It looked stunted, so I had to move it. All the primroses which have been separated are doing good, and this is my strawberry plant which has flowered, even though it's not really sunny at this spot. It's a self-sown one, so I will let it grow. The Kilmarnock needs a trim. It desperately needs a trim, in fact. And the HOSTA next to the pond is taking a beating from the slug. The hostas that were moved previously a couple of weeks ago are doing very well indeed. Doesn't seem to have loads of slug attack. The Kilmarnock has sawfly infestation. I struggle with it every year, but I don't use any chemicals. I just spray them with water every day. This is the fern and the other hosta that have been moved. They look alright. My dahlia has come back this year. This is the only dahlia that's left in the garden which has come back. It's a pom-pom style. This is an echeveria in a planter. My gladiolus are quite strong. Can't wait to see its flower heads. What's new is that my BUXUS balls have got box tree moth infestation. The caterpillars are ferocious caterpillars. If left unchecked, they will finish off your plant within a week. All I have done is look through the plant carefully and lift all the caterpillars that I can find. There are non-biological methods, but I haven't used it any yet. I also wash the plant regularly. If you look carefully, you can see the web and the poop of the caterpillar. Otherwise, we can resort to not using BUXUS plants and use something different. However, anyway, this is the honeysuckle plant. It has started to flower. Beautiful fragrance as I go past the arch. There's not a lot of flowers, but whatever has opened has been really fragrant. The akebia is growing really well. See, the flowers are very delicate, but very fragrant indeed. This is the banana tree or the banana plant. I've got a rose here. This is something which was gifted to me. I was told this is a low growing shrub, but looking at it, how this is growing over last year and this year, I'm suspicious this is a climber. Let me know what you think in the comments if it is a climber. If it is, then I do have to move it from here to a much appropriate position. The heleniums are growing really well. They'll give me a flush of color in autumn. The PRIMA ballerina rose, again another fragrance, is really well growing this year. All the oriental lilies are getting taller. I have to look for the lily beetle every day. The honeysuckle has sent another set of growth to this side, and I'm weaving it through my chicken web. The jasmine, again, it's also a fragrant one. It's also growing nicely. I haven't had much flowers this year. I don't know whether the flowers are late in the season or is it in the beginning. This is a miniature rose. It started to give me buds. I don't know whether it is deep red. The SCABIOUS have been all tied up, and this is another jasmine. It's also growing vigorously. I had very few flowers from it. This is the bed that is on the side of the shed. The MISCANTHUS is growing really strongly, but it's not getting tall. These are my Achillea, cloth of gold, and they are very nice, very fragrant leaves, beautiful flowers. The only issue is that I have to thin it every couple of days, otherwise they'll just overgrow the whole area. It's very popular among bugs. You can see a ladybird, I think, but it covers the whole area in such a way that if I sit in the back seating area, no one can see me. There are plenty of lilies here and alliums. They have to all push up to be seen. This is the original strawberry in a pot. It's from this pot. Throughout my garden, runners have gone around, and I have to fish for the strawberries. The apple tree with the duo apples, one red and one green, they are all doing quite good this year. I'm sure many of them will fall off during June, but at present it's looking very nice to be filled with apples. They're very beautiful. The blue moon rose has flowered very nicely this year. I hope it gives me another second flush of flowers. This is the ruby red Swiss chard, all covered with the petals. The acer is very lush and it is not yet fully green. I love acers. I don't have another space for a white acer that I found, but I do love acers. The HOSTA that was moved, don't know what's the name of this, but it's doing pretty well. SPIREA is starting to flower. Again, another popular flower among bees and hoverflies. They are very nice, but it's quite overgrown. After the flowering period finishes, I'll cut them back. Right now the path is completely covered and it's not impossible, but it's difficult to walk through. The passiflora, or the passion flower plant, which was hard cut back in the spring, is now growing. Every so often I have to go by and train the growth to go along the strings on the fence. Otherwise it will climb onto all the plants which are growing underneath it and also tangle onto the acer. The echinaceas are growing well. The peony, Sarah Bernhardt, is flopping around. I've tried in a couple of places for a plant support but haven't found it yet. I'll again go to another garden center to see if I can find the plant support. More apples. This is the other type from the two. More blue moon rose and the cherry tree. I haven't yet found what's wrong with the cherry tree. In one of my previous videos I had mentioned that it's something wrong is with it. It was covered with white flowers, but I can only find few cherries. Again, not sure what's wrong. On the side bed, you saw earlier, it was filled with Alchemilla mollis. These are its seedlings. So if you don't cut the flower stems back, this will happen. The leaves of Alchemilla mollis is covered with water droplets. I love this leaf because of the artificiality of the water droplets. These are weigela shrubs on the side of my house. There is deep pink and light pink flowers. They are very popular with bees. The bees love to go in. What you're seeing is Allium bulgaricum. They are a column flower, very bee friendly, so you can see bee inside one of the flowers. The bees go in, get the nectar and come out, and as it is pollinated, the flowers will start to point up like in the picture. See, you can see a bee going into one of the columns of the tubes of the flowers. They go in, they get the honey and they come out. They're very beautiful. The Dublin Bay climbing rose, it's spreading horizontally, not vertically. I needed to climb onto my onto my trellis, but it hasn't climbed yet. This is a sucker. A sucker is the growth from the rootstock. So every rose, almost always, that you buy from garden centers would be grafted, and the root that it is grafted to is part of the wild rose, which flourishes in UK. So that's the sucker. All the other stems are Dublin rose. And if you see the growth is coming from below the graft, you have to cut it off, or eventually all the nutrition and water will be sucked in by these suckers, and whatever plant is on top of your graft will be killed. So you have to cut it off. I have cut off 2 such suckers. These are Globemaster alliums. I lift them every year, but 1 or 2 bulbs are left behind. But they are very beautiful. They sway around in the wind. Purple color flowers. These are just opening, but they are deep purple color flowers. My Rosa Parade. This is a 5-year-old rose, vigorously growing. It has got an RHS award for the cluster of flower formation that the rose gives. Again, on this rose, I inspect regularly for suckers and I remove them if I find any. This is a shrub rose. Unlike the other roses, the rose from this plant doesn't last long. It's a short flowering one. It has got aphid infestation, and I have sprayed it with vinegar and soap water. I have to do it every now and then. Thank you for watching, and see you soon in another video.